Hello and welcome to my video on how to solve one variable equations. Firstly, let's define what an equation is. An equation is a mathematical statement that shows that two expressions are equal, and in our case, with variables. A variable is a symbol, often a letter, like x or y, that represents an unknown or changing quantity. And solving an equation means finding the specific values for the variables that make the equation true. For example, this is what a one variable equation would look like. 5x plus 4 equals to 10. To solve a one variable equation, we simply have to isolate the variable by using inverse operations to undo what's being done to the variable. So let's solve our first example with 3x plus 7 equals 22. So the first step to this is to subtract 7 on both sides. So you end up with 3x plus 7 minus 7 equals 22 minus 7. So since we have a positive 7 subtracted by 7, that cancels out to make 3x. And then the 22 minus 7 is equal to 15. Next, to isolate x, we'd have to divide both sides by 3. So we take this and we divide it by 3. And to get x is equal. So that is our answer. But it's very important when it comes to solving equations to check your answer, because sometimes when you calculated your variable, you might have made a small mistake along the way. So it's best to try and plug it back in. So let's take our 5 and plug it back into 3x plus 7. So that's 3 times 5 plus 7 is equal to 22. So then we have to solve 3 times 5 plus 7. So that is 15 plus 7 is equal to 22. And 15 plus 7 is equal to 22. So 22 is equal to 22. So that checks out. That means that x equals 5 is an answer to our equation above. 3x plus 7 equals 22. Alright, next let's try a new example. This time, let's try it with fractions. So, 1/2 x minus 4 equals to 6. So this time, again, you have to add 4 on both sides to cancel out this 4. So we can do a plus 4 here to get 1/2 x is equal to 10. So since we have 1/2 x is equal to 10, we can cancel out the 1/2 by multiplying both sides by 2. So now you're probably wondering, why does multiplying by 2 cancel out the fraction? Well, 1/2 just means 1 divided by 2. So when we multiply 1/2 by 2, we're essentially doing 2 times 1/2, which is equal to 2 over 1 times 1 over 2, which equals to, if we put that all in a fraction, 2 times 1 over 1 times 2. And that finally equals 1, because that's just 2 over 2, which equals to 1. So that's why when we take our equation up here, we can basically say that 2 times 1/2 is equal to 1, so we're just left with x equals 10 times 2, which is just 20. So we have to, let's make sure we check our answer. So 1/2 times 20, and then we minus 4, should equal to 6. So 1/2 times 20 is just 10. So because you're doing 20 over 2, which equals 10. So 10 minus 4 is equal to 6. And that's just 6 equals to 6, which checks out. which makes x equal 20 a solution to our equation 1/2 x minus 4 equals 6. Let's try and do an equation with x on both sides. So we have 5x plus 3 equals 2x plus 18. So firstly, we have to subtract 2x from both sides. So we have to find a like term with 2x on this side, which is 5x. So if we subtract 2x from both sides, that's just 5 minus 2. So that is 3x plus 3 equals 18. So, and then after that, we can we can divide both sides by 3. So 3x divided by 3. Wait. Yes, so we have to subtract 3 from both sides to cancel out this 3. So minus 3 minus 3. So that makes 3x is equal to 15. So when we take our 3x is equal to 15, the next step would be to divide both sides by 3. So we take this and we divide it by 3 to get x is equal to 5. Now to check this one, we first have to plug our 5 into the left-hand side of the equation. So that is 5 times 5 plus 3. And we have to plug it into the right side of the equation, 2 times 5 plus 18. So this is equal to 25 plus 3, which is 28. And this one is equal to 10 plus 18, which is 28. Since both of these are equal, that makes x equals 5 a solution to our equation. Now, let's try a word problem. Sarah has $45. She buys some books that cost $8 each and has $13 left over. How many books did she buy? So we first have to find what our variable is. So since they're asking how many books did she buy, we're looking for the number of books. So we should make x equal the number of books. Next, we need the money spent. Since the books costed $8 each, that means the money spent is 8x. Since she bought books that costed $8 each. So 8x is equal to the money spent. And then finally, we should make an equation for our thing. For how many books did she buy? So since she spent $45, we can say that the equation would be 45 and then minus 8x, because that's how much she spent at the library, and then that equals to 13, because that's how much she had left over. So we can take this equation now and we can add 8x and subtract 13 from both sides. So we get 45 minus 13 equals 8x. Then we can take our 45 minus 13 equals 8x and make it 32 equals 8x. And then finally, we divide both sides by 8 to get x is equal to 4. So next, we have to check our answer by plugging it back into our equation up here. So 45 minus 8 times 4. 45 minus 8 times 4 should equal to 13. That equals to 45 minus 32, and that in its own equals to 13. So since 13 equals to 13, we can say that Sally bought 4 books that day. Now, now we should never forget to use inverse operations to find the variables. Like, let's say if it's plus 4 like x plus 4 equals 10, then you subtract 4 on both sides to get x equals 6. So you have to use inverse operations to find the variable. Whatever you do to one side, do to the other. So you see how we subtracted 4 on both sides instead of just subtracting 4 on that side? So always do what on this side, what you do to the other. And finally, always check your answer by plugging it back into the original equation. So we should always take our answer like x equals 6 and plug it back to original equation. 6 plus 4 equals 10. That is true. So practice is essential toward understanding this, since this is the basis of all the future math you'll learn. So please make sure to do the homework linked in the description below.